I am not the ultimate fisherman, but I'm getting there. We have had an awful lot of rain recently in Alabama. All of our river systems are just completely swamped. Every one of our dams is churning water. They closed a few boat ramps. They've closed a few riverside parks. It's absolute madness out there on the big water. So today I'm swapping back over to the teeny tiny fish. I've come back out to Pine Creek. This is what I guess you would call the upper middle section. And my goal today, of course, like every day, is to potentially catch a new species, but my secondary objective is to catch some spawning creek fish. The grass is growing, the trees are blooming, my allergies are absolutely haywire right now. Changes are taking place. That includes the small water as well. Oh, that's some cold water. Oh my gosh. Water conditions are a little murky compared to how this creek usually looks. As I said, we've had an awful lot of rain recently. It's also safe to assume that the creek's going to have changed significantly from all of the flash flooding that we've had. So first, we'll check on what used to be one of the most reliable holes on this stretch, see how badly everything's been rearranged. First fish of the day, of course, is the ever-present striped shiner. Caught plenty of these over the years. They tend to hang around this area a lot, so it's good to see that they're still here. But I want something a little more interesting today, if you don't mind, fish. Fish number two is back to that complicated range of shiners where just looking at them away from any books or research material, it's really hard to figure out what exactly this fish is. I'm going to place a guess on it's a rough shiner, but I'll find out when I hit the books later. That's a little bit bigger. Is this our creek chub? Whoa. And this is why I was excited to come out to the creeks today, besides the fact that the water is more manageable. This is a bluehead chub. Now, we've already caught one of these on the channel, so it's not a new species for the day, but I wasn't able to show you why it's called a bluehead chub. See, the sport fish are not the only things that are in spawning mode right now. Things like these bluehead chubs are gearing up for their spawn just the same in the spring, and breeding males like this one grow these little horns on their hand called tubercles. They're used to attract females, they're used for defending their nests, and other chub species like creek chubs do the same thing, but the bluehead chub gets his name because his head swells up around spawning time and he ends up taking on a bluish tint. This one's not the brightest of blue colors, but you can see where the blue is starting to set in on the sides of his head. And that is what I find so fascinating about the spawning season, not just for your sports fish where they become easier to catch, but some of your creek species will start to show color changes as they're trying to attract a mate. We'll go ahead and let this little guy go. I didn't even notice there's one of those little rough shiner things right there. Oh, he's ready. Our first sunfish of the day. boy, he's colorful too. Pretty sure what we got here is another long-ear sunfish. Beautiful colors on this fish. Definitely one of the prettiest in the area. Look at that, gorgeous. Gorgeous little fish. All right, we're gonna get you back. Here he goes. All right. And since this water is so murky, I'm having to just kind of blind cast into these deeper holes, just waiting for a little tap. Like that right there. Another big old striped shiner. Now you can see even these striped shiners get those little tubercle horns all across the top of his head, way more than what that bluehead chub had, but much, much smaller. Everything in here is getting ready to breed. All right, little shiner. On back. Well, my time for today is up. This is actually going to be the first video that I'm going to post that I did not check off a single accomplishment during the whole thing. I mean, to me, it wasn't a complete failure of a video because the secondary goal was to show spawning color fish. That's basically why I came out here. I would have loved a new species, of course, but came out here for the goal of being somewhat educational, and we learned a little bit about weird fish growing horns and heads turning blue in the springtime. Hopefully the rain is going to chill out here soon, so the creeks will clear up some so I can more actively sight fish for different species. Also, if our river system ever calms down, I can get back out there and I can target some of the bigger fish again. But until then, y'all have a good one.